Oh shoot, I was talking. Oh, okay. My mic was muted. Um, but yeah, as I was saying, one payout secured. I took a short last night right here, and I didn't need the full move, so I think I closed out before this big profit. Um, I'm pretty sure I was asleep when this happened. This long. I was asleep when this long happened. So I secured one payout here. And what sucks is that for my Top Step account, I secured profits on all of them except for the one that I accidentally took 5 minis on, and that one stopped out by less than 1 point. So if I didn't get stopped out by another point, that would have been if I didn't get stopped out by 1 point, it would have been another payout. But oh well. I'm finding some limitations with the Thinkorswim backtesting engine and just the whole strategy engine by itself. Like it always puts the buy orders like the in the next candle, not in the candle that it happened. So it's I had to like code in like a bunch of like fluff to try to make it as accurate as possible. Um it still won't be like it's just the engine is just not that good. So the P&L won't be exact. I think the P&L manual calculations, the math you see on the green box should be accurate. But what sucks is that the indicator will give the entry like in the next candle or one candle late. So I think what's up, Nama? I have it coded up in Ninja. And I tested it last night to make sure it was working properly, like the actual buy and buy and sell orders. So let me add Ninja into my. Let me add a new window. Window capture. Put this as Ninja Trader. Okay, the black screen. Why? Oh, is it because it's minimized? No. Why are you a black screen? This one? Oh, okay, here it is. It's this one. Okay. So this should replace the bottom two because it's the coding is the same, but this one will have the actual like it's on the correct candle, the entries. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna set it up. Like how do I like this? Or then I'm covering. Your first payout? Nice, man. Congrats. Maybe I won't use this. I'll keep the window, but I'll just leave it in the back. Oh. I'll leave it in the back. Got 2 funded accounts working on getting a payout from that one now. Nice. All right, I have stand up in a minute, so I'm gonna go on mute. But I'm gonna keep an eye out on my thinkorswim to make sure the indicator is printing correctly. Oh, dude, my mic was muted again. What's up, Dean? Yes, sir. New York streams are back. This is where all the action is. Even though I took all of my trades overnight, and I need to buy some evals because all my accounts have hit take profit. I took I took a short here on this model, right here. I didn't need the full TP because it was I think I TP'd somewhere within these two regions, and I don't think I was awake for this long here. I don't think so. Yesterday there was, I used to have an IB model on this chart, but it just wasn't working, so I got rid of it. The IB model said to long, and then this model said to short. So I think I didn't take this because this the IB model is my worst model out of all 5 of these. So I took this short, and now I'm waiting for one of these two to give me an entry. But I think Thinkorswim's buy orders are like they're just fucked up. They're just very dumb. And I was talking to somebody on the Discord, and they experienced the same issue, where the buy arrow, like where you're supposed to buy in, it'll come in a candle late, which is not what you want. So I was asking Claude and Gemini why. Why was it happening? It's just because the Thinkorswim engine for strategies is just not that good compared to something like NinjaTrader, which is a lot better. So this this model, the code in the background should make it accurate, and this should be technically for a 5-minute chart. But I have this strategy as an indicator on my NinjaTrader, and NinjaTrader is actually like way better than Thinkorswim. I just don't have any of my other models in NinjaTrader. I might pivot to NinjaTrader. Okay, let me buy some top step evals so that I can actually take some trades on stream. Let me reset these 2 accounts, and I might add one more. Well, no, I think these 2 are fine for now. So let me go to one of these new accounts. All right, here we are. And let's wait for an entry. Volatility has been extremely high. It's just been rising as we fell in the overnight. So expect to see some big candles.
Let me get out of minis and go to micros. I don't want that. I don't want whatever happened last night to happen again. Let's wait for an entry. Most of these models should have already been done. I'm just waiting on these two now. And this one may trigger one more time if we dip lower. And this one has none. This one already triggered last night. Why is this saying active? No, this one should be like one trade a day. This one should be done. The second entry was tapped right here, but because of Thinkorswim's backtest engine, you can't really enter on the same candle. But this was the second tap. This was the second entry right here. 29 like 100-ish. I was thinking about jumping in, but I wanted, where do we fall down to? Yeah, 29100 was a decent entry. Oh, it was 29109 was the entry. But now we have to wait. Yeah, it was supposed to be, but like the way that, because Thinkorswim, especially on the 5-minute candle, you have this problem called the same bar cascade, where if there's a big enough candle, it'll hit your entry, stop loss, and take profit on the same exact candle, and then the backtest engine doesn't know what happened. So one way to counter that is you wait until one candle triggers you in, which is this green candle, and then you jump in on the next candle, either using a limit order or a market buy. But either way, that's not accurate, right? So now I missed this for 120 plus points already. You're testing a new model? Yeah. All 4 of these are, well, the bottom 2 here are the same model. These 2 are a different model. And then you can see the running P&L at the top. The running P&L is accurate. From what I've manually back tested, like I would go on demand and and go minute by minute on different days to see it play out. But the actual strategy, like showing on this screen, is delayed. But these are correct, like after the fact, and I'll show you an example. So you see how this is the trigger bar right here? This is the trigger bar. So now the engine is waiting for the next candle, right? It's gonna set a limit order at the bar, or if it's below the entry, just mark your order in. So because the next candle is above it, we set a limit order, which means this bar is our entry. Notice this text candle right here. This text candle is correct, but look at where the arrow is. So this arrow is Thinkorswim's actual entry. It's Thinkorswim's actual buy order, and it's happening a candle after where this text says we should be jumping in right here. So this candle, like the entry, is late. But I'm pretty sure it still counts as entering here. Because of the you can see the entry here and then the stop loss. The entry is like here, and it calculates the entry and stop loss or take profit from the actual correct entry point. Yeah, and this is a reason why nobody uses like strategies on Thinkorswim. So if I were to fix this, I wouldn't be able to on a Thinkorswim engine. I would have to, like, once I move this to TradingView, I need to see if TradingView could fix it. I'm curious how TradingView's strategy engine works. but if we dip below to it, I'll probably buy it anyway. Oh, trading view is also delayed by 1 bar. Dude, that's so stupid, man. Which means I'll need to. I wouldn't even know how to fix it. I guess that's why you don't. I guess that's why you don't see trading view indicators with like that gives you the entries and exits. They don't give you, they just show you the arrow, right? They don't tell you the exact price. So if trading view is also delayed by 1 bar, then I need to remake all my models to work like this one. I assume there was always 1 bar delay. That's a problem that I'll have to fix. I think this one works the best. This one, because this text bubble is on the correct bar, and the math of this P&L on top is a running total of these text boxes, right? Of these text boxes here. So I'll need to put this entry logic into the rest of my models. And I think it should be, but I'll have to double check. I also tried to add a timer to this. So it says long L1 at wherever, and then I try to put a timer in, but the timer matches this arrow, so that also doesn't help. So there'll always be 1 bar delay, which is pretty stupid. Use ATR for stop loss? I do not. It's something I looked into, but every time I used ATR as a stop loss, it made all of my models worse. Every single one. Hey Jack, I have a question. When on a fresh funded account, do you risk a lot to make a lot in the first trade, and if the trade doesn't go in, you just farming days after? That depends on how many funded accounts you have. And I'll give you an example. Let's say you have 20 funded accounts, right? I always use 50K accounts as an example. I think everyone buys that. So 2K of drawdown across 20 accounts, right? And then you get a new fresh funded account, right? So now you have 42K in drawdown. Well, let's say you had 19 accounts, 19 funded, and you just passed your 20th. So you have 40K in drawdown, right? And then you full port, or not full port, you could full port, right? However you want to trade it. You could full port only on that fresh account with however you want to trade it, and you're risking the entire account's balance. So you're risking 2,000 out of your 40,000 in drawdown, which means you're risking 5% of your entire portfolio, quote unquote portfolio, right? I mean, 5%, you know, a trader would normally take a 5% risk, right? Maybe sometimes, maybe that's too much, but for prop firms, 5% is nothing. That's like risking $100 on a 2K, on a like a 50K account, right? But if you have, let's say, 1 funded account and you want to trade heavy on the first day or just full port it, well, you're risking 100% of your balance. And you know, what kind of trader risks 100% of the balance in one trade, right? I assume there was only 1 bar delay. Yeah, I think so. The only one without 1 bar delay is NinjaTrader. Let me pull up my NinjaTrader chart. Does it have the indicator? So wait, can you guys see my NinjaTrader chart or no? NinjaTrader. So here, you guys see it? So this one, I actually back tested it, and NinjaTrader does not have it works properly. So this is the model, like the most profitable model that I have right now. And NinjaTrader, with it actually works how it's supposed to. And I double checked the entries. So what I was thinking was I was going to replace this, but I need what I need to add is that running P&L total, because I tried to turn it into a strategy, but nothing was showing. So this is not a strategy. This is an indicator with the same logic. So hypothetically, it'll have the same P&L as the Thinkorswim, the bottom two that you're looking at. The bottom two are the same models, but their TPs are a different variation. One TP is a... My mic is so far away. One TP is a hold until end of day, and the second TP is a 2R fixed TP. In some markets, or in most of the markets, the end of day will usually be the more profitable. But for, you know, prop trading, it's more about having a higher win rate and securing your wins faster. So I'm gonna leave this on the screen. Maybe I won't. I'll wait until the entry shows up, and then I'll show you guys. I'll pop this back up on the screen. Or you know what? Let me just leave this. I'll leave this here. Like, where do I put it on the screen? Like here? I'll replace this one with it. I'll replace it like this. And then I'll move my top step. No. I'll move my top step like this. Oh wait, did it hit our entry again? No, it didn't. The only excuse me. The only thing I can think of is you can pay for the most expensive TV sub. I probably won't do that. And then you can use 15 seconds to somehow merge data between your 5-minute and 1 second. Ooh. I probably won't do. Well, I need to see how much that is, the cost of that is on Black Friday. Because I don't feel like paying the... I think the discount is really good on Black Friday. And it pays for an entire year, and a lot of people wait for Black Friday to re-up every single year, or to like add another, I think like 13 months or something. Looks clean. Yeah, NinjaTrader is a lot cleaner, and it's just a whole lot better. But if I want to port my models into TradingView, then I need to figure out how to make it work with a 1 bar delay. And the best way I can think about it is when your entry is triggered, you wait for the next candle. It's like how I've been doing it. Your entry is triggered. You wait for the next candle, and if the candle, so let's say you're longing, right? You wait for the next candle, and if the next candle is above your entry price, you just set a limit order at your entry. If it's below it, you immediately mark it in because you're getting a better entry price than what you originally wanted, and then that should give you very, very close to, very close, or sometimes even better, because you're marketing in later, so you're actually getting X amount of points more than what you originally were placing your order in. So in the long run, I think the results will be pretty close, because yes, you may miss one entry here or there, but on the entries that do overshoot your trigger, you'll be capturing X amount of points. So like 20 points here, 30 points there, 10 points there. Hope it works. Well, I mean, the logic is already here, right? The logic is already on this chart. Right, you can see it on this long entry here. The reason why we didn't immediately enter on this tap is because we're waiting on the next candle, and this next candle is above it, which means there's a limit order on this blue line. Tapped it, and then it entered. So let's see how it goes for this second line. I forget the logic that I put in, but I forget if it's one trade a day or if we'll still take the second trade. I've been like dancing between like 5 models, and it's like my memory of them is like so fuzzy. Except for these bottom 2, because these bottom 2 are my most recent ones. I think my Claude tokens will refresh either tonight or tomorrow morning, and then I can fix it. But I don't know if I should, like, should I be spreading myself out this much across 4 or 5 different models, or should I just like hyper focus on like 2 models? And I really hate it when 2 of my models, like one model it's telling me to go long and one model is telling me to go short. I don't like it when that happens, because assuming they're both positive expectancy, it's like, which one do you take? And you can't take them all in the same prop firm, because then you're hedging. Even though you're doing it, like, you're not doing it maliciously, you just have 2 models telling you to go long and short. I'm surprised you remember all the models. They're not, some of them aren't too horribly complicated. The model that was the most complicated was this one, the one that I scrapped. It was an initial balance model. And then this one is also a little bit complicated. But this one I just follow the lines, and then I just follow whatever the text tells me to do. I trust whatever I did, you know, whatever I was thinking when I made it. And so far in the past 6 months, I mean, they've all been doing pretty decent. Actually, they've been doing extremely well, actually. which kind of sucks because I wish I traded it 6 months ago. I assume initial balance would be the simplest. It wasn't too hard, but I was trying to be like fancy with it, and I added too much logic to it because I tested the initial model or the initial balance model, and it wasn't working. So like you see all these people with their stats. I don't really trust it. Like long term, I don't know if it works. Just because it's so simple that you can create a back test for it really easily. And when I made my back test for it, it was the worst out of all my other models, and Claude also didn't like it. Now I don't trust Claude too much. But when when Thinkorswim and Claude both agree that it's not really worth it, I don't think. Maybe other people can get IB working. Maybe I haven't read into it enough. Someone actually reached out to me yesterday, and they have an IB model that's like a 1-to-1 IB model scalp. I'm not gonna say what it is because he DM'd me about it, so he didn't want it to be public. But I also tried to code his, but his was I don't think anyone else can back test his because I don't think not a lot of people have the same data he has. He has 1 second data for like 6 years, or maybe it was over 6 years of 1 second data. I recently just got 1 minute data from pulling it off of NinjaTrader. But he had 1 second data, so maybe the 1 second data was what made the difference. That's basically like the closest thing you can get to tick data. But I wouldn't be, the closest I can get is 1 minute. And I don't know if it'll 1 minute is 60 times the noise that he is getting on his 1 second on his 1 second back test. And his model is a scalping model. It's like very it's in and out extremely quick. So because it's so quick, that if you go to a 1 minute candle, you're gonna run into that same bar cascade issue I was talking about. That 1 minute candle will hit your stop loss, entry, and TP most likely at the same time. For your historic back test, right? For your live test, maybe it won't, but for your historic back test, it'll hit all three at the same time, and then your entire back test is fucked. And it'll probably happen very often for the points that he's scalping. Well, it was that bad, or maybe I just didn't. Maybe I didn't incorporate enough elements to it. I think some of them may use like VWAP or something. My IB model didn't have VWAP. So maybe I didn't give it a good enough shot, you know what I mean? Maybe I can try to get it working with a 1 minute IB model. Or maybe there's some other indicator out there that I can slap onto it that can make it work better. It can't be manually traded then? Which one can't be manually traded? Yeah, this is what kind of sucks about the weighting of the entries, because you already missed out on a 200-point move already, which means that if this does tap me in and hit stop loss, it'll fuck up my data even more, which kind of sucks. Oh no, it can be manually traded because it's for its, you know, it's 1 second, so so he can, like, I think top step you can go down to 1 second. Oh, I think the entry may have popped. Hold on. Stop loss 149, 149. Oh, that's a huge stop loss. 149, 200 points. 200 points. I have a 1K drawdown limit. Oh fuck. I'm too busy doing math. I already missed the entry. What is that? Like two? No, it's wait. 300, 150, 150, 5 is 1000. You need like 3 micros. What are the possible entries? The long just popped up. Entry at 300. But the stop loss is 149, which is 150 points, which means because Top Step has the 1K drawdown, I have to use like 3 micros. And we're already 16 points above it. I'd rather just wait for the I'd rather wait for the dip. What's someone's idea for a long here? It's basically a trend continuation. So these bottom two here use a trend continuation. And this model here uses volume. I think this model is a variation of the percent line model. This one should have fired already, but the Top Step engine is a piece of shit. Or the Thinkorswim engine is a piece of shit. I'm not too worried about missing an entry because I only have evals right now. All my funded accounts are in profit besides the one that took a short with 5 minis yesterday, which got stopped up at 1 point, which kind of sucks. But I only missed this trade on an eval, so I don't mind. TP 602, 300 point TP. Probably not going to happen. It's probably going to expire before the end of the day, which means you'll probably be holding until the end of the day. Calculating risk so fast would be hard for me. No, same here. Same here. But usually a start of one. So technically for this model, there's 3 entries. The first entry is the lightest entry, which is T1. I don't know why it's called T1. Probably trigger 1, right? There's T1, T2, T3, and you can do what I've back tested is you can do 1, 1, 1, or 1, 2, 3, and then you stop out at 149. 149.94. What it does is that it basically DCAs on a pullback. So after the trend is confirmed, on the pullback, you enter in again on some DCA accounts of a heavier size, either 1, 2, 3 or 1, 1, 1. And what it does is that every entry reduces your take profit, except for this one. This one you hold until the end of the day. But every time you DCA, it'll bring down your average, and it'll bring down your TP. Let's see if I can find. Let's see if I can find one that does it. Oh, here it is. You see? Scaled average, new TP. So that's for your DCA. So basically the thought process is that you'll DCA down, and then once it hits your stop loss, then you're done, because then the trend is over. Your thesis is wrong. So usually like 1, 2, 3 or 1, 1, 1. Depending on your account size. I think 1, 1, 1 would work on all accounts. Because this model, like the backtest data for the P&Ls, these are all done on NQ with 1 mini. So 1 mini, 2 mini, 3 mini. So drawdown is insane because it's minis, right? But to convert it to micros, you would just divide everything by like 10 or however much you're gonna enter in. Usually it's probably divided by 10. All of these are extreme, like long-term trades. I need to think of a short-term scalping trade, maybe on the 1 minute, but then you run into a lot of issues. Maybe I can add a filter for candles, like don't enter if it triggers, and where's fourth chart's possible entry? The one that shorted, the entry was 29724. And these lines are calculated right at Globex. This one is a bit better for the RR wise. Like this RR is really good. Like almost 200 points for 100 points. A lot of the times when you're making an algorithm that trades for a long period of time, you need to make your RR better. Than 1-to-1. If it's less than 1-to-1, like over a long period of time, it's just not, usually it's just not going to work out, or you'll be extremely close to break even. So I'm interested in tackling a scalping model, but I need to figure out what I want to do for it. So that bot won't take any more trades anymore today, or will it short again? No, no, no. This is done for the day. So if I go across all, so for this model, if I go across, and this model is only one entry, so maybe I can make it better with multiple like DCAs, but this is only one entry, right? So if I go over all my other entries here, right? It's only one trade per day. If it triggers. The RR is roughly 2, I believe. It should be 2. I don't know what the win rate is. It's probably like 40-ish%. That's what it looks like here. Like it would go all the way to the left. Okay, let's see. Like this is a win. Win, win. And sometimes you'll get some insane trades like this. So 1, 2. One loss. 3 out of 4. It's probably like 40%, I would say. Another win. I had like 40. Another one. Maybe 50-ish. But then all these wins are varying amounts. Like this one is 10 points. That barely counts. But you'll see some crazy wins here. But because the calculations sometimes varies and the distance of these lines are pretty far, so yesterday's stop loss was 100 points. But look at this day's stop loss. This day's stop loss was like 300 points right here. Or 200? Wait, what was it? Short? Yeah, 200 point stop loss here with about a 2R trade. And it's only one trade per day. And then I added a rule that it ends at the end of the session, because you know we all trade prop firms here. But this one is doing pretty well. Maybe I'll keep an eye on this one. But who knows? In the next 6 months, maybe this one will go to shit. I don't know. But I like how this one has both longs and shorts, right? So it's not like longing only on, you know, one of the craziest markets we've had where we just, you know, just been going up. Yeah. I think there's still some discretion. I think all of these models will have some discretion. Like, do you really want to enter at the exact tick? Do you want to wait for a pullback? Do you want this? Do you want that? I think there'll always be discretion. Like here, right? So look at our entry. We basically like almost bottom ticked here. And went all the way to the top band. It hit the top band. So assuming your worst fill is this line, like, do you want to give up 130 points? And this was probably this was 100% news event. Yeah, so you lost due to a news event here. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it. So far it's doing pretty well. But all of these models you have to trade with micros because these are all longer term models. The average hold time is like probably an hour, 2 hours, which is less stressful, right? Micros in general are just less stressful. Okay, let me go back to today. You said these are calculated Globex opens. Possible for you to send these on Discord? Yeah, I probably could. But I have like I'm closing the premium, so I'm like making it less work on myself now because posting all the levels have just been like a pain in the ass. So I may or may not. There's still people that haven't canceled. Those people need to cancel. Because the only thing that you get from the premium is like you get the exact XYZ lines. You'll get the percent lines. Did I give them out yesterday? I might not have. Maybe I'll just repackage everything into like I don't know if I want to turn these into strategies or indicators because the strategies will always have that 1 bar delay versus indicators you can use traders discretion. So it's like I'm kind of like lost in what to do. And then if it's indicator wise, then I can throw in a bunch of other stuff. We'll see. Like the easiest way is to have like a bot that scrapes this data, but I don't know if my bot can grab this. If it can grab it, where would it grab it from? Basically, I want like less work for myself. I didn't send percent lines. Let me send those. These should be the percent lines. But the percent lines will always be on my stream here. The percent lines are here now. Is this it? Yeah. These were the percent lines from today. They actually performed very well. Here. Here. I'll send them again tomorrow. Or I think I will dedicate a chart just for percent lines. So I just send a screenshot versus typing it in. I think I will dedicate this chart to it. But this chart has the XYZ lines, so I have to, well, I could just cover it up and then send the line. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be showing them on stream for like the next 6 months. I think the percent lines will be easy to turn into an indicator. I think what I'll do is like I'll turn all of these into indicators and then just make a video describing how to trade them. because the percent line has been really strong this year, like very, very strong. Like we had a time, I think like last week or something, where it was like 95%. But this line is built specifically for prop firms. It's not built for live accounts, because when it hits multiple stop losses in a day, it gets very, very ugly. But if you traded it during that 95%, I think it won like 19 out of 20 or 19 out of 21 trades. That's already like evals passed plus payout, which if you end up hitting one of those days where it stops you out, you already paid for all your accounts and probably more. Oh, and I think the long triggered on my Ninja Trader as well. $29289.41. But like, so my Ninja Trader took the trade, and it got a better entry than this one. The more models that I make, the more I'm like it's so important for trader discretion to be part of the model. Otherwise, you can like mechanically trade it every single day, which there's probably not there's probably not an algorithm that works where you can trade it every single day with no discretion, because you also have to account for fees. The biggest killer in the long run for algorithms are fees, commissions, and low RR. Those kill algorithms, because you can make a decent model that's like 1-to-1 RR or maybe a bit negative RR, but then once you add fees, you add commissions, you add slippage, because you can't get a perfect fill every single time, and it just absolutely destroys the model. And usually when it's what I've seen, or during the historic back test for the percent lines, is that when it gets tapped during overnight, it gets like very ugly. Now I think this year we've tapped the percent line in the overnight maybe like less than 5 times, and 2 or 3 of them or 4 of them, it was enough to the point where I was like it would blow through one line and keep going and destroy like 2 more lines. But I think those were when it rallied in the overnight, and then it tapped the first line. Then it's like when it rallied overnight and tapped the first line, you don't take it. Because what I've seen this year, all the ones that I've counted, it tapped the first line and you won't even get like 40 points. It'll just keep going. I think overnight just taking it with 1 to 2 micros. I think that would work. 1 to 2 micros. I used to take them a lot more aggressively, and I saw really good returns. I used to take it with like 5 micros or 5 micros on funded accounts I care about, and 1 mini on on brand new funded accounts. And the 1 mini on the brand new funded accounts, those are my runners. So sometimes I will get like 100 plus points on 1 mini. That's already like 2K. But the downside is that like I tried to give that new funded account one of the better entries. Like maybe not exactly at the line tab. But that's because I had like a ton of accounts, right? Each line tab I took it with 2 accounts. The more important accounts only took with 5 micros. The less important accounts will take with 1 mini. I don't think I ever sized up to more than 1 mini. Because for the percent lines, your stop losses have to be pretty large. In this model, the stop loss is insanely large. This model, even though it's made 78,000 or 75,000 in the past 180 trading days, which is a good chunk of data, like you can see the stop loss is insane. Entry 269, stop loss 782. Almost 500 points of stop loss. And your TP is like 150-ish. It's very bad for a live account, very good for a prop account. Like you can just look at like I'll show you the drawdown for this. Oh, let me get this out of the way. You can see the drawdown for this year on these lines. You see it on the P&L here. Just look at the drawdown for this year. After this first loss, right, we never went to drawdown ever again. Over 50 trades. Now this is for 1 mini. So take that with a grain of salt. You probably have to take 10% of the size. I think there's something called an MAE, MFE, something, simulation, where it goes through all your orders and then it spits out the it spits out the stats for your stop loss. Like how many points did it go against you before reversing, right? Or how many points did it go in profit before reversing? Right? I think MAE is how many points for your before it hit stop loss or reversed. It's one of the they're both flipped, but it's the same idea, just flipped. One is for profit, one is for stop loss. And that's how you find oh, how many points should I put it under? Is using MAE analysis. Oh no. There's losses here. You can see, so in the trade P&L, you can see the losses. Look, this is a loss, but drawdown is this P&L is the size of your account, right? The trade P&L is the actual win or lose. So you win, lose here, win, lose, right? Win, lose, really big. Look at this, 12K. Win, lose, win, lose, win, win, lose, win. I mean, that's basically break even. Win, right? So it's not one loss in the past 180 days. It's the your P&L curve. This is your P&L curve. So basically the curve of your account. This will most likely be a 1 micro trade on your accounts. 1 to 2 micro, depending on how much you want to risk, or 3 micros, right? But you need to survive to get enough buffer. Like this is the buffer. That way you can take that big hit, minus 12K. Yeah. So this whole model is basically if you did start this model on October with 1 mini and you're able to hold the unrealized drawdown, then it's worth 76K. You make a video on how you backtest your strategies? What do you mean? Well, when I backtest, I just throw my model into, so you can create indicators called strategies. Strategies are just indicators, right? But they have an order function and a sell function, right? And basically you put that indicator that's a strategy now because it has orders into thinkorswim, right? Tell Claude your model, tell it to model it for you, and then put it into a strategy and then verify that it's working how you want it to work. You're like, oh, I do want a long here, right? And then you can spit out whatever I just spat out. It's called a strategy report, and it tells you, it doesn't tell you that much, honestly, right? It only tells you your max trade P&L, which is good because my max trade is not like 50K, right? I'm not getting lucky off of one trade. Versus the total P&L and your total orders. That's it. It doesn't tell you your max drawdown. It doesn't tell you your win rate. Nothing. It just tells you these 3 things. Which is why I'm for testing these models for the next 6 months. And one of them I already threw away. That was the initial balance model. I couldn't get it to work. Maybe I'll revisit it this weekend, but some of my viewers were telling me some interesting stuff about RSI or what else? RSI or some EMA, maybe some EMA cloud, right? And it was interesting, so I might look into those. All of these are long term. Maybe I should look into a short term scalping model. I think that's what I want to do next. What's up, David? There was this one scalping model that I was thinking about. It could be negative. It's probably, you know me, I'm a negative RR trader, but basically and I've seen it happen so many times in this past week or 2 weeks. You wait for NQ to be stronger than ES. When is it stronger than ES? You can see it with your eyes. And then on a pullback for ES, you just scalp along on NQ. It could be a 10-point scalp or 20-point scalp. Just get in and get out. And you wait for times where one is stronger than the other, and usually NQ is stronger. And that's because we're in a huge tech rally. Let me see if I can give you an example. Let me see if we can spot when one is weaker and when one is stronger. God, I can't spot it. My eyes are not working. but do you see when NQ is weaker? you can see when it's weaker, right? Lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. On these pullbacks, on these lower lows, you buy at the stronger pair. Lower low here at 440, right? 440. You long here for a scalp. ES would be like probably a 5-point scalp, a 3-point scalp, right? Right here. And then you see it rallying as NQ is just chopping around. This next dip on NQ, new low, ES above the previous low. So on this new low pullback, you buy on the stronger pair, ES. And then you can see this rally and this rally. And then ES got kind of a bit weaker. But like I can't, this kind of back test, this kind of model, I have to back test manually. Unless I can figure out how to read ES and NQ at the same time. That's going to be way too complicated. Like let's see if we can find the weaker pair. Right? I have too many lines in the way. There's too many lines. I got to get rid of these lines. There's too many. Okay. So both 5-minute on this day. Let's see if we can find the weaker pair. Okay. Weaker pair. I kind of want Globex. I wish I had Globex. That's a good indicator. Which one has Globex? This one? No. All right, whatever. I'll just have to do it by eyeball. All right, let's see if we can find some when one is weaker than the other. Some glaring differences. Okay. Equal lows here. Okay. A dip here. So you see how this dip went a bit deeper than this one right here? Oh no, here you can see it. Do you see this? You see this dip? Right, this candle, this hammer. You see how it was flat and then hammer? Well, this was rally into a hammer. Now that's extremely short time frame. I'm talking about stuff that's a bit more noticeable, like this dip. This dip back into. Look at how close this is to that hammer. See how close that is to that hammer. Look at how, but now look at this one. To this hammer. You can see which one's stronger, right? So then on that dip, you buy it here. Or you buy when the other pair pulls back, or maybe at a support line, like here. And then you'll see sometimes it'll flip. So here, here. I mean, it's still held on compared to this lower low on this dip. Compared to this dip. This hammer is down here. This hammer is all the way up here. I've seen it happen so many times. And look, new low by this amount of overshoot. This low, we never broke below this hammer. Right? This hammer is the same space as this hammer. So which one is a stronger pair? NQ is a stronger pair. For a scalp. I feel like I've seen this so many times. But like, what's the entry? How much am I scalping for? What's my stop loss? Is it easier to spot in hindsight? 100%. Should I be thinking about swing lows and swing highs? Is that it? Should I be entering on a support line? Oh God. Trying to fit a whole day's worth in here. It's a lot easier to see when you're not zoomed into like 10 million candlesticks. I see it happen a lot in the overnight. When I see ES pull back and then NQ barely pulls back, then I know that NQ is a stronger pair. Especially as ES keeps pulling back and NQ is just staying strong, which means that, and I probably said it during stream sometime before, where it's like, oh, this is the stronger pair, oh, this is the weaker pair. I don't want to be long this pair right now, or if I had to pick a pair to long, it would be this one. If I had to pick one to short, I wish I was here. Oh, I like this short because this one's weaker. If only I could categorize that, or I don't want to do like a year's worth of chart work for that. It sounds like a pain in the ass. That sounds like an experiment where I throw one funded account into and just trade like one micro and see how well the stats are. All right, let's get those lines back. Things were a lot easier when I wasn't when I was just discretionary trading. A lot less complicated. How many accounts do you have? I have, let's see, I have 3 Top Step accounts. I used to have like over 30, but I got moved to live with Apex. And I'm still waiting on those accounts. 3 with Top Step, 2 with My Funded Futures. I have 1 with Lucid. I think that's it. So 3, 2. So I have like 6 accounts. I need to start building them back up again, but it's been a pain in the ass. And I think are my Lucid accounts fixed yet? It's not fixed yet. Nice. Yeah, I trade the best when I have like 20 plus accounts. You can spread your risk so much that it's like it's very hard to lose it all if you trade it properly. I think what I'm gonna do is, so let's see, I have 4 models. I think I dedicate 4 accounts to each of the models, and then I dedicate some accounts to my other models that I trade with there's no rigid strategy behind, like the percent lines and the XYZ lines. I think that's what I'll do going forward. But then I kind of need more accounts. The percent line, XYZ line, needs multiple accounts. God, I wish I had 20 accounts again. When is Apex giving me my account? I'm checking X every single day just to see if anyone like actually got their accounts. So far it hasn't. I mean, I wouldn't mind if they just paid me everything. It's like 42K in those accounts. That would be nice. But let's see. I think I got moved to live last week. Some people were already waiting for a month, and I think they just rolled out some accounts. Like a day after I got moved. I'm gonna check X right now, actually. Apex live accounts. Someone has access to the live dashboard. It looks like you can have up to 28 live accounts. Okay, so some people got moved to the new dashboard. But what do you mean by new dashboard? Like, is it the one that we're all seeing or the new website? Oh, it's just signing up to a new dashboard. Hmm. 5-8. Okay, that was last week. This is the new website application you use to your onboarding, receive updates. This is the new web application. Put on an inbox the email you sign up for next steps. Wait, did I get this email? We'll begin the processing of opening live accounts on May 8th because demand for this program has been exceptional. We're rolling out a phased approach so every client gets level of support this transition deserves. Keep an eye out on your new late live trading dashboard. Let me check my Apex dashboard. Apex dashboard. I think if we trigger my second entry, I'll jump in. Did it trigger? Let me check. Let me check on Ninja Trader. Not yet. But it's a decent entry here. I think I'll throw in like maybe like 2 micros. And let me wait for a bigger dip. Okay, let me go back to see my dashboard to see if I got anything. I did not. Oh man, I'm probably in like one of the last waves. All right, so much for waiting for that second dip. Looks like volatility is dying down. There's not really big moves right now. The first dip day that we had where there's been no extreme rally up. What's your favorite prop firm? I think my favorite has to be Lucid. I think they're the best in terms of cost and rules. The Lucid Flex accounts are basically the same as Top Step accounts. If you have the like one-to-one to the Top Step rules, not the consistency ones. The Lucid Flex ones are the same as the no consistency accounts. I mean, it's a pretty big day compared to, yeah, it's a 600 point drop day. It's a pretty big day. I think we dip to the lows again. I'll probably be buying the 109 line and then one more entry at if we hit 29,000 flat today. Are my tokens refreshed? Let's see. Yeah, they are. Okay, I'm 75% usage on my token. All right, let me see if I can. Let me see if I can work on another model in the meantime. I think my next model is going to be. I just pick an indicator out of the hat. Just work on it. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Next model I'll look into is RSI divergence. I remember my cousin and somebody else was talking to me about this. How many of them should I stack up? How many filters? How many indicators? I do RSI with like, should I include volume? Should I include a volume profile? Should I include VWAP? Should I include an ATR? Should ATR only be used for a stop loss? What about ATR for a TP? I can't do all of that. I don't think. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. Oh, I have a meeting soon. Oh no, I don't. Let me get some water up here. I trade Asian in New York. I was looking to do the same. Uh, yeah, I trade both. I'll give you an example. Last night I took the trade you see on the top right of the screen. So short at 29 with a 29724. With that TP. I didn't do the exact stop loss in TP because I went in with like I think like 5 micros or something. So and I only needed like I didn't need the full move because if I did the full move it would fuck up my consistency. And I was only looking for a payout day. So within like on the top right model, when it hit like the yellow to red around the middle, I took profit and secured the payout. So tonight I'll have one payout, and I think how close is my other account to a payout? Let me check. My other account. One of them should have a payout tonight. Yep, this one. And the other one. The other one needs like 1 or 2 more days. Or 3 more days. No, it needs 2 more days. It's not counting my current day, which means this is the first day's profit, which is 1011, which means if I make like 400-ish to 500-ish in the next 2 days or in the next 2 trading days, I can take a payout. But yeah, I usually trade both. I'm looking into RSI divergences on the side right now. is doing? Oh, right, copy all my drawings. Okay. So it looks like the long is doing pretty well on this model. I think it's up like currently up 70 points. The TP is insanely far. And it still has to deal with the previous day low. Right, is this previous day low? Yeah. So if I was smart, I would probably cut it there. Like 150. It's at a couple of it's at a couple of levels needs to break. This area right here. It's gotta break that, and then wait, let's see if I can look at, okay, let me see which one is stronger. So NQ is stronger. So that whole model I was talking about, where ES failed to hit the higher high, and we had a higher high here, which means on this ES dip we should be longing on NQ. Do you make more money during Asia or New York session? I think New York. Asia, there's not a lot of opportunities in Asia. I guess some of these are in Asia. This model has the most Asia trades. All my other ones are not built for Asia trades. But my best, like, I scalp the best really in New York. I used to scalp a lot, but it wasn't based off of like, it was almost like discretionary scalps. It was just when I was feeling bullish or bearish, I would just wait for price to move in one direction and then trade the pullback. And I would trade the pullback like 20, 30, 40 points. I was pretty decent at it. Maybe I should start doing that again. Maybe I should go back to my roots. I feel like the models that I made, even though there was not that much math behind it, I mean, there was decent math. There was decent back tests. For the XYZ model and percent lines, maybe I should go back to that. I don't know. I think I'll stick to this for 6 months, though. We'll see. Wonder if I'm shooting myself in the foot because now I'm trading micros and I still have 200k more to go for the 500k challenge. I might not hit it this year. All right. I'll probably be end up closing shop as I go off to lunch. Decent day. I missed a couple entries. I missed the entry here. When was this? This was 1 a.m. I missed the entry here. Honestly, because I wasn't paying attention. And what sucks is that this is gonna affect the backtest data because this should be up 148 or something points, but instead it's up 0. So I also am not in this one. I'm not in this one either. I could buy into it. What is this? 282, 286. So 200 points or 20 points below where the entry actually was. I think I want to wait for the first DCA ad, which is 29235. For scalping, it's not a bad idea. Like, I only take this line trade here once a day. But you can see, I mean, there's too much shit on my screen. I gotta get rid of these weights because I don't need them. I don't need to see them. But decent bounces, bounce here, dipped and then bounced here, broke through with high volume, right, into resistance, into support here, into resistance here, breakthrough, high volume. Now it's just kind of staggering here. Kind of missed out on a bunch, but I'm okay with leaving Friday with a payout. Can't complain. I'll request it whenever Topstep allows me to. I don't know if it's gonna be market close or if it's gonna be Sunday open. You've been using the 15-minute trend structure and scalping the longer term move. The 1 minute with good timing with MA recently discovered gives good moves on NQ and gold. Can you backtest that? 15-minute trend structure. Well, I would have no idea how to. I don't know what a trend structure is. And I don't know what MA you're talking about. And I wouldn't know. Like, how much is recently? Because everything that I've noticed, I've seen it happen over like weeks. Right. All my models are stuff that I've noticed for a long time. Or they're very, very popular indicators. Yeah, you can DM me on Discord and I'll take a look at it if I find it interesting. But I only have a limited amount of Claude tokens, and so then I need to decide, do I further improve my models here, or do I go and look for something else, right? And the more that I branch out, like, there should be a cap to how many models that I trade. But yeah, send me a message. I'll take a look at it. And then if I see some, I'll probably like manually backtest it for like a week or two, to see if it's decent. Now, 1 week, 2 weeks is not really good enough data, but ideally it should be months. But yeah, if I have spare tokens, I'll probably shoot it into Gemini because my Gemini eats up tokens a lot slower than Claude. So DM me on Discord. I'm gonna close up stream. I will report to you guys if there was an entry here that hits TP. Volatility is rising, so I'm not surprised. I won't be surprised if we dip down here and tap this entry. I'll let you guys know on the next stream, which is Monday, the results of this one, and then we'll see. So happy Friday, guys. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend, and stop on by for Monday stream. Peace out, guys.